What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In the last video, I finished repainting the front lip on the Evo. I got a few runs in the clear coat. For once, they're actually not that bad. My painting skills have come a long way in the last year. First couple of times that I painted this thing, I had a ton of runs in the clear coat. This side over here actually came out great all the way along here. Everything came out really nice. I got one sag right here down at the bottom, and then there's one more that's going along this line right here. This video, I will be sanding all of the runs out. I'm gonna try to get them all polished and nice and shiny. And then since the front lip will cover up this black piece right down here, I wanna add my stripes to that also. After that, I should be able to get this thing fully reinstalled and take it for a little spin. Stay tuned. As always, if you didn't see the last video, definitely go check it out. I'm pretty proud of myself on this paint job. I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of this clear coat. I figured out my #1 problem. I was always going by the recommended flash times on the bottles. Instead, I actually just started paying attention to the paint itself. I believe before I was letting it flash on there for way too long and this clear coat was getting tacky and the tackiness was already drying. Recommended flash times for this clear coat was 8 to 10 minutes, but after about 4 minutes, it was getting really tacky. Hardener that I was using was the appropriate hardener, so I don't know why it was flashing on so quickly. But as always, I did run into a few issues. There is one large sag right here, and I'm really not sure how this one happened. However, this one over here, I know exactly how it happened. I explained it in the last video, but if you didn't see it, what I ended up doing is getting a bunch of runs. I got way too close with my gun. If you look really closely, you can kind of see them localized right in there. I ended up doing with the next layers is just spraying them on really thick. It made those runs go all the way down. Flatten this out, but then you can see where it collected underneath here. In turn, it also created these sags over here, but these will be much easier to sand out than all those high runs that would have been built up. I shouldn't have to do much sanding on this top one at all. For this bottom one down here, I'm just gonna snip all the drippings off and then I'll sand it down. It'll be underneath the car, so you won't see it, but I'm sure also driving around, stuff is gonna fling up here and hit it. I feel like 3/4 of it came out perfect, so I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. I am really excited to get this thing back on there, so I'm gonna get started sanding. I'll probably start out with 400 or 600 grit. Once I can knock those mountains down and start lining up with those valleys, I'll refine it with a finer grit sandpaper. And then once I get everything looking like it should be, I will finish it up with the compound and polish. Front lip is all finished up. I was able to sand out all of the runs. The actual run, I was using my little square pad with 600 grit. For my sandpaper, it's this Duragold. It's got a sticky back adhesive, so I can just stick it on that little pad. Once the surface was level enough, I used my DA sander. I ran up to Harbor Freight and got 1000 grit, 1500 grit, and 3000. This is the one step that I need a little bit of work on. I don't think that I hit it enough with the 1000 grit and 1500. Once I got down to the compound and polishing stage, I ended up having to do that about 5 times. I was just really nervous. I've burned through paint before, and I really did not want to burn through this clear coat. That's my process though: 600 grit, then 1000, then 1500, then the 3000 grit sanding pad. And I just use my compound over and over again until I can pretty much see no scratches. And then after that, I use the polish to take the last little bit out. So freaking stoked to have this thing finally finished. Next up is going to be to add the vinyl stripes. I'm actually going to get it installed on the car first because it's going to make it easier to line it up. After that, this thing will finally be completely done. Front lip is fully reinstalled and I've got my vinyl stripes added on here. 100% could not be happier with how this turned out. I feel like the Evos with no lip just look absolutely awful. I feel like every single Evo should at least have some sort of lip on the front. They added the extended side skirts on these things and it just looks like the front lip is not there. I know when ordering these things they had the option of purchasing the factory aero kits, but most of the Evos you find these days don't have them. Not to mention the front lip on the factory aero kit ends about right here, whereas this one extends out. If I didn't mentioned that already. This is the Voltex style. It's just not Voltex, it's the replica. Again, super stoked. This thing looks so much better with that front lip on there. As far as adding the stripes go, I did everything that I did when I did the original stripes. Did not do any measuring since it's just this little front piece right here. I just kind of eyeballed it. Once I was able to get my center line down here, I just laid my Knifeless tape on both sides, measured over, laid another piece of tape down, and then laid my Knifeless on top of that. And I did the black piece of vinyl first. After that, same thing, measure over for the orange one, lay down a piece of green tape, and then the Knifeless. And one other thing that I do like to do, just because I'm not that great with the blade, is I do use the Knifeless to cut up here also. Still have a little bit of wiggle room, so I was able to get my fingers underneath there and tuck that vinyl in really good. For the bottom back here, because it is on an edge, I was able to use my blade very easily. Came out absolutely great though. Super stoked to have this thing finished. I do have one more little thing before it is completely done. I do have a very steep driveway at the end, and when I owned my Focus ST, I had a front splitter on the front of that used to always drag. The front bumper on there right now does not drag at all, but I'm about 85% sure that that front lip is going to. I did buy these universal bumper scrape guards to put underneath there. I'm gonna get these installed on there. I'm gonna have to clean the bottom of it really good with the degreaser. Things do come with 3M double-sided tape on the back. I'm gonna get them installed on there. I probably will not be able to test it out today. I wanna make sure that this glue is dried first. And once it does, we can take this thing for a little drive. Here goes nothing. I know it's gonna scrape. I'm not gonna lie, looking at it, it is much further down and it does stick out much further in the front. So I'm just really hoping that the front of the lip doesn't hit first and that those little plastic guards catch it first. I'm just gonna ease it down here. I don't hear it yet. I don't even hear it scraping yet. I'm at the very bottom of the hill here. I want to go out and look at it first. I honestly feel like I must be just the luckiest guy in the world sometimes, even though some things bad happen. But if you look, it's not even touching it. It's literally centimeters from touching that little black scrape guard. As long as I take it easy, I should have no issues getting this thing out of the driveway every single time. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how stoked this makes me right now. I was really, I don't understand how this thing's not scraping right now. When I first tested it, when I first got the car, I felt like the OEM bumper was just this far off the ground, but I guess that was a while back. I just don't remember it, but for some reason I was thinking it was. But that thing, I've literally got like this much between the guards and the ground. This is a pretty aggressive driveway. Like I said, my ST scraped. That makes me very happy. I'm gonna take it for a little cruise, get a few pictures, and then I will wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap up the video here, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, definitely hit that like button. I know I've said it 100 times already, but I am just super excited and stoked with how this front lip came out. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything else going on with the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.